Welcome back. Obviously, when Hank Aaron played, there was no MLB Network or analysts doing breakdowns of his swing. So we decided, in true MLB Network fashion, to have Harold Reynolds break down Hammerin' Hank.
Hank Aaron as a person was one of the most amazing people you ever meet. But you got to look at the baseball numbers and how did he accomplish it. So let's take a look at the baseball player, Hank Aaron, and the mighty swing. Did you know Hank came in as an infielder, though? He came out of the Negro Leagues as an infielder, and he made 40-some errors, and they said, you're going to go to the outfield. But he used all those infield skills in the outfield, like a throw like that, dropping down, still making the accurate throw. He was a tremendous defender, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, and he's playing against Roberto Clemente out there to right field, who's going to win all the gold. I mean, that's the type of defender he was. But it was the offense we're talking about, the numbers he was able to put up. But if you see the quickness and the release, he had over 3,000 hits, almost 4,000 if you look at it. Amazing. 57, he was a National League MVP with the power, the combination of power and RBIs. But having a conversation with Hank one time, I asked him, what are you most proud of? And he said, it was the RBIs. And why? As you see him score over 2,000 runs right there. And this 4 guys right here really set the trend for African-American baseball players. But a 25-time All-Star, and he's most proud about his RBIs. And I said, why was that, Hank? And he said, because I never wanted to leave a runner at third base. Now, obviously, he's known for the home run record and hitting 755 home runs. That was his 500th. Here's his 600th. And then, obviously, he hit the 700th. Well, we're not even going to waste the time showing because we're going to jump to 714 on opening day. He hits this opening day home run, and they said, is he going to do it in Cincinnati or will he wait to get to Atlanta? Well, he waited to get to Atlanta. He gets back home and hits 715 off Al Downing and breaks Babe Ruth's record of 714 that stood for so many years. It was just an amazing accomplishment. But what a great hitter. Hits, runs, RBIs, total bases. Hank Aaron was the total package on the offensive side.
All right, Harold, appreciate that. 2 things. 1, I love seeing Harold mention Hank Aaron's defense because you don't see a lot of people talking about his defense, but a 3-time Gold Glove winner. And then the Braves need to go back to these uniforms. What you see there, that photo? Because that's just classic.
You're into that old classic, aren't you?
I think it was that uniform, the throwback uniform that we'd wear. I don't think I ever gave up a run in it, and I tried to petition to wear that every time I started, and they said, oh, no, only on a special occasion.
They need to go back to it. It's 70s baseball. It's classic. It's clean. So with Hank Aaron getting the breakdown treatment from Harold Reynolds, we thought we would take a couple of classic players, old-time players, and players that you would want to break down if they were still playing today.
For me, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. I think of the days coming home from school and you flipped on WGN because if you wanted to watch Big League Baseball, you watched the Braves on TBS and the Cubs on WGN. And I can remember Jack Brickhouse, the infield third to first, Santo, Kessinger, Beckert, Banks. Ernie Banks, 5 times, think about this, 5 times hit 40 home runs or more as a shortstop. Talk about a guy that could plate coverage, a lot like Hank Aaron. So you wanted to pitch him up, boom, take you bridge to left field. He had great plate coverage. You wonder, a lot of fastballs. Can this guy hit an off-speed pitch? There's a good fastball that's down and away, and he goes and hooks it and buggy whips it. So you're thinking, I know what we're going to do. Let's go up in the zone. That's a good fastball up and in that he hits out for his 500th home run. This guy was an amazing player, and a lot like Hank Aaron, people forget that Ernie Banks, when he broke in, was a shortstop. So he was Lindor, he was Seager, he was Jeter, he was A-Rod and Garciaparra before they were. Wow. That's how he was an amazing player.
Now, your player holds a special place in your heart because you grew up right in that area,
yes.
A huge Detroit Tigers fan. And I mentioned 70s baseball. This guy was a rock star.
He was. And before we go to the tape, it's so special because I watched every game he pitched. He was so different. I mean, we've had nicknames in the game today like the Freak.
Yeah.
This was the Freak back then. And Mark the Bird Fidrich. So let's roll the tape. This was one of the guys that, you know what, if you thought talking to the baseball or, manicuring the mound, nobody ever did anything like this. This was the first guy that really willed himself to success. Talked to the ball, talked to himself, and he had pretty average. I mean, if he was going to be rated But then I had to think, what's our comp? What would be the comp of the guy in my era? Al Leiter. Al Leiter, talks to himself, does a few things. So I thought, we didn't have time to show all the times that Al talked on the mound, but Mark Fidrych got it done. He pitched complete games. The biggest thing about Mark Fidrych, okay, he had a pretty good slider and curveball, but it was his willingness to go 9 and figure out a way. And let me tell you something else he did that doesn't happen today, and for obvious reasons it doesn't. He stuck around and gave a curtain call. After he went in the dugout, did his report, he would come out to the fans like myself that never left. I'm talking 15, 20,000 people would stay 15 to 30 minutes afterwards. He would come out, tip his hat. He loved the game. He was energized by his ability to go out there and perform off of that adrenaline. And I've never seen anything like it. I don't know that we ever will. And it was pretty cool to grow up watching Mark the Bird Fidrych.
24 complete games his rookie season.
In one season, right? That's a great career. Now, how many games you complete? 24. Wow.
Yeah. 24 of the 29 starts he made that season.
I think I watched every one of them.